Hello everyone, in this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Moeed Pirzada to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Moeed Pirzada's words. When I woke up here in America this morning, within the next 2 to 3 hours, I carefully followed the debate that had taken place in Pakistan over the past 10 to 12 hours, on TV channels, on the internet, in newspapers, on podcasts, and across social media regarding Pakistan's politics. I observed it, understood it, analyzed it, and then I came to this conclusion. If we were mentally normal right now, if we weren't so troubled, if we weren't suffering from so much confusion and panic, this debate wouldn't even have happened. And if we were rational, logical, and reasonable, then our full attention would have been on this. In those areas of Pakistan, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, in Munir, in the Malakand division, where there is already insurgency, unrest, rebellion and political disturbance, if floods and flash floods now strike and hundreds of people die, billions of rupees worth of property is destroyed, then what will be the political implications and consequences for the Pakistani state and its unity? It is said that in 1970, when a devastating flood hit former East Pakistan, afterward, the sense of alienation grew massively. Even though the flood had not been caused by West Pakistan, nor did West Pakistan have any solution to stop it. But the people there felt that they had been abandoned to their fate. Now in Munir, however, such a debate is not happening in Pakistan. Instead, debates are taking place about a column written by Sohail Warich and about the wishes of General Asim Munir. I will come to that later, but first let me complete the point about Munir. Last week, for 2 days, I devoted my attention to Munir. I didn't just see the reports, but also read many comments from Munir residents, from people connected to Munir and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and from those in contact with their relatives on the ground there. They report that there are at least 400 confirmed deaths, and when the full picture emerges, the death toll will likely reach around 1,000. Alongside this human tragedy, the entire infrastructure, public and private, that society had built there has been washed away. And when infrastructure and wealth generation are destroyed like this, the political implications come later, and no government compensation can truly solve it. So if we were logical and rational, all our attention would right now be on these flash floods and political disturbances, on understanding their impact and how to respond. A very intelligent Pakistani top officer who has participated in many international conferences sent me a text. He said the West is largely insensitive to greenhouse gases and climate change because of their own energy requirements. The solution won't be that greenhouse gas emissions are suddenly reduced. Instead, we must develop early warning systems and improve our infrastructure. Many others told me corruption is also deeply involved. Just as in Karachi, building codes and regulations are violated, the same is happening in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Because of this, water doesn't find its natural path and causes massive destruction. There is another crisis as well, the wasted water. Yesterday I also said in my talk that 1,000 miles down south in Thar Parka, people are longing for every single drop of water. The same is true in many parts of Balochistan. Yet here in the north, water is killing thousands, making millions homeless and destroying billions in property. This shows that the Pakistani state has no vision, no clear thinking, no roadmap to manage its water system or water cycle. If we were rational, if we truly understood what needed to be done, if we weren't so distressed, we would be thinking about these issues right now. If we were democratic, if we had a genuine democratic society, if we had local governments, responsible provincial governments, and a genuine federal government, then right now, these are the things we would be focusing on. But we are not. Instead, the entire debate of the past 111 hours has been about Sohail Warich's column, which was published on Saturday morning, I believe, in the Urdu newspaper Jung. Later it was picked up by English-language newspapers, and then, well, the entire podcast market discussed it. In this column, Sohail Warich describes a meeting with Pakistan's Army Chief, Field Marshal General Asim Munir, during his recent trip to Brussels. After addressing the Pakistani community there, General Munir had a one-on-one exclusive meeting with Sohail Warich, who has now written about it in his column. There are 4 or 5 key points in the column, and they are currently driving reactions across podcasts and media. The first and most important thing to understand is this: Army chiefs often meet journalists. I myself have, and so have many others. But journalists are not allowed to publish what the Army chief tells them. So if Sohail Warich has published a full column, and if he is neither abducted nor disappeared afterward, it means that the army chief deliberately used him with GHQ's permission to put forward his point of view to the world. From this we get an insight into the army chief's state of mind. Of course, there is nothing entirely new here. We already know quite well the mindset of General Asim Munir, and therefore nothing in this column is a shocking revelation. But still, he has revealed his thinking and sent a message to all of us, what he thinks, how he thinks, and that he imagines himself to be Pakistan's ruler for the next 5 to 10 years. The main points, and I've written them down so I don't get stuck on just one, start with this very interesting one. General Asim Munir, according to Sohail Warich, believes that Allah Almighty, God himself, has chosen him as the protector and guardian of Pakistan. Now, how the general knows this, how Allah gave him this message, only the general himself knows, whether it was through cognitive understanding or some other way. Suddenly, whether some angel came to him or he himself thought of it, or he saw it in a dream, only Jan Sahab would know that. Because ever since the 18th century and the modern societies that have emerged across the world, and even where they haven't fully formed, one common desire exists, that people will themselves select their leader, elect their leader. Now, whether we like it or not, in India the people have selected and elected Narendra Modi as their leader. Whether Congress likes it or not, he is their chosen representative. Similarly, in America, whether anyone likes it or not, Donald Trump is the representative of the American people. The people elected him. In France it is Emmanuel Macron. In Britain it is Keir Starmer. In the same way, in Pakistan, the leader of 80% of Pakistanis is Imran Khan. But General Asim Munir, who says that God himself has selected him as the protector of the Pakistani people, has imprisoned this Imran Khan in Attock jail. And he wants to deal with him on his own terms and conditions through some agreement, pact or talks. He has tried many times. Even now it seems he is trying, but without success. More on that later. Another interesting clarification came through Sohail Warich. He, that is Asim Munir, has said that he has no desire to become president. Asif Ali Zardari will remain president. The system will not be changed in any way. Why did he clarify this? Because one of the biggest reasons for using Sohail Warich was precisely to make it clear, I will not bring any change to the system right now. I will remain Army Chief Field Marshal, and perhaps for the next 5 or 10 years, maybe even for life. As long as I live, I will remain Army Chief. I want to stay in this position. The model of General Sisi Egypt inspires me. So, he said clearly, there will be no change in the system. Asif Ali Zardari will remain. Why did he have to say this? Because for the past month or two, since June, there has been constant speculation that General Asim Munir wants to or will or should become president. Different voices, different claims. Where did this come from? Some podcasters planted the idea, and it also emerged from within GHQ itself. Essentially, it was a political idea that gained strength especially after June, when General Asim Munir met Donald Trump over lunch in Washington. That meeting elevated his profile, and Trump treated him as a head of state, as Pakistan's key decision-maker. Trump did not grant such recognition to Zardari or Shahbaz Sharif. This meant Trump did not see them as leaders of Pakistan, but only Asim Munir. The logical conclusion of that was, if Asim Munir is seen as the decision-maker, then he should be the de jure leader too, meaning he should become president. Even within GHQ and in parts of Pakistani politics, this desire was present. Some podcasters promoted it heavily, so this was not just a baseless rumor. In English, there is a saying, there is never smoke without fire. Discussions were happening, wishes existed, debates were held. I am in touch with responsible diplomats in Pakistan who confirm that discussions indeed took place. At one stage there was even talk that, due to poor health, Asif Ali Zardari might step aside, leaving the presidency vacant. In return, he wanted a prominent role for his son Bilawal, perhaps as Prime Minister. But it seems no progress was made on that. So Jan Sahab's denial doesn't mean the idea never existed. It means progress stalled, and General Asim Munir got scared. He realized the risks were too great, and the risks are real. Everyone remembers General Musharraf's example. In 2007, when the Americans persuaded him to remove his uniform, to step down as army chief and remain only president, the world saw what happened. Within 12 months, or rather within 6 months, even 3 months, Musharraf lost all his power. His chosen army chief, General Kayani, formerly DG ISI, established direct links with the CIA and American establishment, and just like a fly is plucked from milk, Musharraf was removed from the system. So, considering all those risks, General Asim Munir decided, no, I will stay as I am. I will continue to run the system as army chief. That is the significance and importance of his clarification. Now, he also made one completely absurd statement. He said that within the next 5 to 10 years, Pakistan's economic situation will improve tremendously, perhaps even like Germany. God forbid Pakistan compared to Germany. His naive assumption is based on the Reko-Dick agreement, from which Pakistan expects $2 billion annually, maybe more. And he believes this money will transform Pakistan's economy. This is total nonsense, pure PR talking points. Someone gave him these lines and he repeated them. Those who drafted them are not that foolish, but they assumed Pakistanis are. The reality is, Pakistan is a huge system with 250 million people and countless problems. Its nominal GDP, as of end 2024, is only $372 billion. India's is about 4 trillion. India's population is 6 times bigger, but its GDP is 10 to 12 times larger than Pakistan's. Pakistan's biggest economic problem is not elite-level management, it is the lack of development of human resources and infrastructure at every level. Look at the recent flash floods in Buner and KP. They show again how weak Pakistan's human resources are, and how easily infrastructure collapses, whether due to floods, earthquakes, insurgencies or anything else. Pakistan needs meaningful democracy, local governance where people can decide their own lives at provincial, city, district and tehsil levels. Without democracy, this is impossible. And without solving issues of water, democracy and peaceful accommodation with India, Pakistan cannot progress. One of Pakistan's biggest challenges is how to engage India on self-respecting terms. So Jan Sahab is just making hollow claims. Then he made another statement that greatly upset social media. He said that political reconciliation is possible, but they must apologize. According to Najmul Hassan Bajwa, a podcaster and blogger I mentioned a few days ago, who also reported on the Brussels meeting, Jan Sahab said they must apologize. He didn't name anyone, but it is clear he meant Imran Khan must apologize. Apologize for what? For May 9th. Now this is very interesting. I've told you dozens of times. The main line of events was conceived by the general himself. As a result, he dismantled PTI, broke it apart, controlled the judiciary, silenced the media, and seized the entire political structure. It was all his own plan, his own will. Why should Asim Munir need an apology from Imran Khan? For what reason? Just because Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf's so-called crime is that they went to the GHQ gates, went outside the Corps Commander's house and showed defiance? So, one reason for the anger is that they dared to challenge GHQ's will or the authority of the generals. They want an apology precisely for that act. The second question is, how have they convinced themselves that all of this was done by Imran Khan, whereas in reality they themselves have benefited the most from it? This is a very interesting question. I don't know whether you people have ever tried grappling with it or not. The simple answer is this. See, generals often embody what is called the arrogance of power. Once a general convinces himself that God Almighty has chosen him as the protector or guardian of Pakistan, then it is not difficult for him to also convince himself that if Imran Khan or Tehreek-e-Insaf apologizes to him, then everything will fall back into place, everything will become fine. Basically, what he wants is that the political structure he has imposed over Pakistan should be approved and legitimized by Imran Khan himself. That's why again and again we hear reports that attempts are being made to reopen channels of dialogue with Imran Khan. Even a few days ago I told you that efforts are underway again to contact him. The plan is talk to Imran Khan. And the real purpose of that is to obtain legitimacy from him for the structure that they have erected. This is in fact a psychological issue, an important point. I don't know if I can explain it fully. But the entire political setup they have built can only truly gain affirmation from the leader who they themselves have locked up in jail. That is the mindset of General Sahib right now, a very peculiar state of mind. You must have seen documentaries or films or read crime investigation reports from both Pakistan and America, where certain individuals convince themselves that God has ordered them to kill certain people. Such people sometimes even kill their own wife and children. Many such cases you must have read about in Pakistani newspapers as well. This is a state of mind, where people genuinely believe they have been divinely commanded to do something. You must also have seen films where a man holding a gun or a bomb traps many people inside a room. Sometimes he laughs, sometimes cries, sometimes screams and demands, "Affirm me, agree with me." That is the kind of situation Pakistan is in right now. May Allah have mercy on Pakistan. I cannot say more than this. Now, he also said that Pakistan has created a balance between America and China. Indeed, there is no doubt that Donald Trump's peculiar personality greatly benefited Pakistan's current establishment. They were guided by the lobbyists they had hired who taught them how to maneuver the cards. For the time being, they have achieved a balance. But this balance could be disturbed at any moment because the man they are relying on, Donald Trump, has a very mercurial personality. It is only Trump's boldness that he overturned America's 25-year-long policy towards India. If you read Fareed Zakaria's piece in the Washington Post, he laments that this was a continuous policy pursued by 5 different administrations, confirmed by 5 different presidents and their teams. Yet Trump upended it overnight. That means Trump can flip his mind any moment. In the coming days and weeks, when General Sahib thinks that matters in the international arena have settled in one direction, it is very likely that they will not remain settled. For instance, on Monday, China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi is arriving in India for 3 days. This is a very important trip. It is expected to normalize relations between India and China. This will be the first step, after which Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Beijing to meet Xi Jinping. This trip is important because, for the first time since 2018, an Indian Prime Minister will be visiting China. It is symbolic but also carries serious policy implications. It is also a consequence of what is happening in India-US relations right now. A readjustment and re-leveraging is underway. Even Trump's recent meeting with Putin has consequences. One result has already appeared. Trump has more or less indicated that the 27th to 28th August deadline regarding sanctions on China and India may not be implemented. About China, he has clearly said, after his meeting with Putin, that he will wait a few weeks to decide. And it seems the same will apply to India. Earlier, I explained that India is carefully and in a sophisticated manner leveraging its oil purchases and resource acquisitions. They are adjusting according to which way Trump's policies tilt. They haven't completely stopped buying Russian oil. They diversified, including African sources, as I showed last time with Yahoo Finance data. Now even India's own leading newspaper, The Hindu, its diplomatic editor Suhasini Haidar, has written in detail how Trump claimed India has stopped buying Russian oil and how perhaps he will not impose additional 25% tariffs or sanctions on India after 27th August. Though Indian companies were still purchasing oil as of August, the question is, for how long? Will India get a full pardon from Trump because of the evolving Russia-Trump equation? Or will there be some adjustment in between? The bigger issue is psychological. Many people in India, even in their elite circles, do not fully grasp Trump's nature. I was speaking recently with a very senior Indian newspaper editor. I told him Modi will have to give something to Trump. Before I even finished my sentence, he said, absolutely. Without giving something, you cannot get rid of Trump. So far, Trump hasn't even raised the H-1B visa issue. If he does, it could be a major problem since over 70% of that market is monopolized by India. For now, Trump is silent. Similarly, US Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, says around 250,000 illegal Indian immigrants live in the US. So far, only 1 or 2 flights of deportees have been sent. But imagine if deportation flights started leaving daily. What would be the political implications? Therefore, Modi will definitely have to offer something to Trump in order to come out of this crisis. I will discuss this further later. For now, this much is enough. That wraps up our translation of Moeed Pirzada's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.